Hello. Well, I'm going to read a bunch of articles about politics, social justice, all that fun stuff. But first, a quick article from Brett Bart. Apparently, The Guardian has announced it will close comments underneath articles of race, immigration, and Islam. The reason, according to ultra progressive newspaper, is that such topics attract a quote unacceptable level of toxic commentary. I was under the opinion that any kind of commentary would be good, even if it, had subversive elements, because with those subversive elements you can argue, debate, and come to a conclusion that may enlighten a certain point of view that hasn't been thought about. Who decides what's a toxic comment and what constitutes what I'm assuming they're going to say is Islamophobia, racism, misogyny? Who decides this? The Guardians. Well, I guess they don't want to decide anymore. They just rather end discussion altogether. The overwhelming majority of these comments tend towards racism, abuse of vulnerable subjects, author abuse, and trolling, said Guardian executive editor Mary Hamilton. Fucking called it. The resulting conversations below the line bring very little value but cause consternation and concern among both our readers and our journalists. Notice how they use very authoritarian language. They're assuming that the readers are concerned with the choice of leaving the comment sections on. But are they actually concerned with what the comments are saying? They claim the overwhelming majority of these comments tend towards racism, abuse of vulnerable subjects, author abuse, and trolling, though where are the comments to show racism, or tangible racism, ones that could actually impair people in daily life? What about abuse of vulnerable subjects? Does that mean casting doubt on particular narratives? Are they vulnerable because of the narrative that they try to project? Or is it just that if you were to critically analyze or critique a story and realize it has no basis, it would come crumbling apart like a structure without a foundation? Think about it. So, author abuse and trolling. Can't they just mark those specific comments as spam? Or, more importantly, can't they just ignore them and not take them seriously? I mean, they even use the word trolling, so they're self-aware enough to know that if you feed the troll gets stronger. Why not just ignore those comments, let people have them, but ignore them, and get on with your life? The wider basis for censoring the comment section is to control the narrative. That's it. That's basically what they want to try to do. They don't want dissenting opinions contrary to their narrative. That's why, rather than just blatantly remove every comment, they won't allow any comments at all. So only their word gets posted, which is fine. They're a private interest. They can do whatever they please, but it's not in good faith, and it's not in the means of free speech. Not that the British adhere to that or anything like that, but in the free spirit of the press, you would think that they would allow comments in an open forum setting to stand the test of criticism. But they won't allow comments, they won't allow critique. What's the point of reading these articles without knowing what other people think? Even if you believe they're irrelevant comments, who gives you the ethos to decide what's good, what's bad? Who gave you this authority? Last thing I'm going to read. The Guardian's new policy stipulates that comments will only be opened under articles covering those topics if moderators, quote, have the capacity to support the conversation and, quote, believe a positive debate is possible. They did not explain what a positive debate on immigration would look like. And I would go so far as to claim that the point of having a positive debate is to shut down any form of criticism, because criticism, by its very nature, is negative, at least in the eyes of people who don't critique things properly. Because you can critique something and have it be completely constructive, but someone will construe that as negative just because, by its very nature, it's a critique. Now, quote, positive debate is inherently subjective depending on the guardian's definition. That's the point of the moderators, right? Moderators' discretion. So ultimately, if you have a dissenting opinion, more likely than not, it'll go against the moderator. Discussion won't happen. Why even bother in the first place? What's the point?